If you're trying to find an unsecured loan up to $100,000, well, this video is for you, because the lenders that I'm talking about is going to be focused on, they're giving the maximum up to $100,000. Now, they do have different data points, but at the same time, I like these credit unions because they do several things. One is that they're hard pulls, right? So their hard pulls, most of these credit unions, their hard pulls last for 30 days. So what does that mean to you? Well, by their hard pulls lasting for 30 days, that means you can apply for multiple products, okay, with that one hard pull, okay? Now, another thing that you have to keep in mind is with these lending institutions, again, they're very flexible if you have a high DTI, but again, most of the time with a lot of lenders, their DTI with credit unions as well as banks, their DTI, debt to income ratio, is usually up to about 50-55%, okay? And some of them are inquiry sensitive, okay, as well as check system sensitive. That being the case, I'm going to give you a breakdown of my favorite credit unions. If I was trying to get a $100,000 unsecured loan, who would I start with? The first one is Connecta Credit Union. Again, the reason is because they offer loans anywhere from $1,000 up to $100,000. Now, the way to join them is through the Innovation Society. And yes, they do check systems, all right? Now, they pull your Experian FICO 8, and sometimes they may require a proof of income. Now, how do you get around the proof of income? Well, I told you guys that you can show pay stubs by setting up your ADP and hooking up one of your credit cards to it and paying yourself a salary through your credit card, okay? So that's a step to do it. There's also a company called Austria that actually sets up like direct payments. Excuse me if I mispronounced that, but what they do, they set up direct payments in order to show that, hey, this guy does have revenue coming in and he's making direct deposits into your bank account, all right? So that's a second type of system to use when you're trying to show proof of income. Now, again, with Connecta, because of that 30 days hard inquiry, you're able to apply for multiple products. So not only just that unsecured personal loan, but at the same time, you may be able to apply for a credit card as well as a line of credit, all right? Now, also adding to that, some of these credit unions may offer business checking accounts as well. And I know with many credit unions, they're geo-restricted when it comes to business accounts, but nonetheless, you can definitely find out if they're offering business accounts, because that's where the real money is, right? Now, the next credit union is Westcom Credit Union. Now, this surprised me because I'm in California. I used to be with Westcom, but I never really took advantage of them for the products that I know that they had. Now, granted that Westcom just merged with another credit union, but the products are still the same. So with Westcom Credit Union, they offer unsecured lines of credit up to $100,000 as well. Now, they're very easy to join, but you have to be a part of California in order to join. Now, the thing about it, it's a $1 savings account to join, and they do pull Experian FICO 8, all right? Now, here's the next one. You have the State Department Federal Credit Union, all right? Now, people are kind of back and forth on them because, again, yes, they do the 30-day hard pull, right? However, here's the key to them, to my understanding. If you're trying to build a relationship with them, it's best to call them because, to my understanding, they may do a lot of things manually. Okay, so when you're trying to join and stuff, you can join through the American Consumer Council, all right? And they pull Experian FICO 2, which is under the mortgage score. So they pull an older scoring system, right? So that being the case, for some people may not know what their mortgage score or FICO score, because they always hear about FICO 8, they may hear more about FICO 9, but when it comes to mortgage score, using it for credit funding and stuff, a lot of people are not familiar. So if you're not familiar with that, you can click the link in the description and pull your mortgage score, okay? Now, that being said, the next credit union you want to look at is Patelco. Now, I have done a video on Patelco in the past, and again, like I said, they offer that 30-day hard pull. Now with that 30-day hard pull, multiple products, okay? So granted, there are personal loans go anywhere from $300 up to $100,000. You have to join the financial fitness, and it is Experian FICO 8, all right? Now the next one is United Nations Federal Credit Union, all right? Now, this is the one that blew me out of the water, because I don't know for any of you guys that are members of United Nations Federal Credit Union, what do you think about them? Because some people are like, hey, they approved me, then they denied me, said they couldn't verify information or whatever. So put it in the comments. Let me know, hey, what did they do for you? Did they help you, or was it a waste of time on a hard pull? Now, the interesting thing about United Nations Federal Credit Union with their unsecured loans is they go up to $150,000, all right? You have to join through the United Nations Association, all right, which is about $25. Now, here's something that I want to tell you guys. Whenever you're joining these credit unions, okay, it's still the same as if with a bank, because they are income sensitive, okay? So that's the reason I tell you, when you're joining these credit unions, like I gave you earlier in the video about how to create the pay stubs and stuff, if you're like a self-employed person or independent contractor and stuff, you use that system, show proof of income. Those two systems that I mentioned earlier about the ADP as well as the Austria system to do direct deposit and everything. But here's the thing about it. What people are missing out on when they're talking about income, are you including your spouse's income? A lot of financial institutions, they want the whole household income. Say that you're on disability, but you're renting out a room. That's income for you. Say that you're retired, but you still got money coming in from a pension, from a 401k and things of that nature. That's something that you should put on the application. Now, one thing I would tell you, if you are disabled or retired, check the employment status of your application through the credit bureaus and take that off of there. You do not want to have on there disability. You do not want to put on there tired, okay? The reason or self-employed. These are the top 3 things that end up helping people get denied because of these, because it states that you have restricted income, and that may not be the case. You may be retired or you may be on disability, but you may have other income. If you're self-employed, then you need to actually put your company name as your employer, okay? Now, if you don't know how to do that, you need more instruction on how to do that, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. But I'm trying to help you, show you that, hey, these are some things that will restrict you in terms of when it comes to funding. You're like, well, why did they deny me or whatever? Again, because when they pull a credit report, if they see those 3 things, disabled, tired, self-employed, that gives them a red flag, okay? So you don't want that. Now, here's a surprise credit union that you guys I had mentioned in a video, and I'm very excited. That's the reason I continue to talk about them, is BCU, Baxter Credit Union. And the reason I tell people look at BCU is because they use a Vantage 3 score, Vantage TransUnion 3 score. Now, if you don't know where to get your Vantage 3 TransUnion score, again, there's a link in the video. You can go to Credit Karma and get your Vantage 3 credit score. You have American Express that will give it to you for free. You know, so that way, and it's interesting because I keep telling people, although American Express gives you a free Vantage 3 TransUnion score, they still pull a FICO 8 TransUnion Experian score in order to determine if you're qualified for cards and stuff like that. But in terms of like large amounts of loans and stuff like that, these are the top. Other than fintech companies giving out loans and stuff like that, these are the top credit unions. So I would definitely encourage you to look at the top credit unions to be able to get access to funding. If